getting all the Fully Charged without the music or ads.
It's the Fully Charged Daily Podcast.
Lads, thank you very much for joining us on Fully Charged, and congratulations on the brand new album.
Thank you for having us.
But we want to know, the more albums you make, does it get easier as time goes on, or does it get harder?
Definitely not easier.
It's definitely not easier.
harder, yeah.
I think it's harder, yeah, because you obviously, you're judged a lot now on your new music, and every artist is judged on even a song. So you can't. There's no really room for error to a certain degree. But we had like 7, 8 years or 9 years since our last studio album. So this one was definitely a bit of pressure attached to it. We wanted to obviously come back with a very strong album, and we took our time. We made it over like a year and a half, and we got off to a really good start. Obviously, the first 2 days was Better Man and Hello My Love, 2 songs by Ed Sheeran and Steve Mack. So the start was really strong, so we felt like, right, this is good, we got to keep going in this vein, and yeah, it feels like we have.
And how did Ed Sheeran get involved in the album, and did you get to meet him?
Yeah, well, it was
He
interesting.
reckoned he wasn't successful enough, and he wanted more.
It was interesting what happened with Ed, because the way we were as a band, when we sat down as a four at the start to talk about the reunion, Nicky had made a comment on a few occasions of like, what would Ed Sheeran be doing, or how could we get Ed Sheeran involved? And then we had fast forward a month or two later, we had a meeting in London with our management, and they were like, oh yeah, we've just been talking to Steve Mack about the Westlife reunion, and he's written a load of songs with Ed Sheeran for you guys. And we were like, what? And so we went down to the studio just to hear. We heard Better Man was the first song that we heard, and it was very much a Westlife song, because Ed grew up listening to Westlife. So the whole thing for us was, well, how do we get someone like Ed involved? But he was kind of thinking, well, I'd love to be writing Westlife songs. He wrote Shape of You with Steve Mack, who did Flying Without Wings and all of that. So that's kind of a bad way of telling the story of how it came together.
But also, I think it derived out of when we were coming back on, well, we knew there was a nostalgia there. We spent 14 years together, so that was where that was going to come from. But how can we be relevant again, and how can we make playlists? And I think from my time on radio, I knew what playlists were going to work, and how would, like, if we came back with the equivalent of, Swear It Again or Flying With Wings, as good as they are, in the current world, they probably wouldn't get the light of day, because you don't really get to hear it. Now, in saying that, Ed had obviously a big hit with Perfect, but I think everybody probably thought Westlife predictably would do that. And that's how I had said, lads, look, if we're going to come back, we need to have an album and have singles ready that are instantly. And sometimes, and thankfully this isn't the case, because Hello My Love has proved to be a great, kind of proper record. But sometimes, and you'll know this, sometimes songs get on playlists that aren't actually that good, but they've got a great tempo and beat behind it. Now, I know you guys don't play that, but
of course.
Others do. And I think that's where it came from. We needed to get Ed involved. And I think we even offered at one point before we met him to go, should we just even, as they say nowadays, reach out and try and get Ed to hook up, go for dinner and say, look, we're thinking about getting back. And amazingly so, we never even had to do that, because he was already growing up with Westlife and had written stuff for us, which was
it slightly creepy that he had this bank of songs?
It was actually kind of not creepy, but it was just amazing, because Nicky said there, like, we were saying, how could we get Ed Sheeran involved? And 6 months before that, he'd already written 2 or 3 songs with Steve Mack for Westlife.
I did spot him outside my house on occasion.
It was a wee bit like,
call the guards.
A bit weird. How did they know that? Like, we hadn't even sat down together as a band. They were just hoping we'd get back together.
Ed was kind of saying, like, I'm with Mr. Westlife, and I grew up listening to Westlife. I want to write Westlife style songs. It wasn't necessarily a case of like, let's write directly for Westlife. He just wanted to write Westlife songs, the way he would hear a Westlife song.
Do you think you could have said, if you actually listened to the songs and went, these are terrible, do you think you could have said it to him?
Thankfully, that we didn't have to.
We probably could have done it in a different way. They might have been track 8, 9 and 10 on the album if that was the case. But look, it's Ed Sheeran. He's this, he's probably the most talented at the moment around the place.
8, 9 and 10 are very good, actually.
Skip those songs.
2 of them are James Bay songs, American Chains.
2 of them are...
Actually, one of them is my favourite. What number is Another Life?
Which one is it, Nicky?
Another Life. What number is Another Life?
Number 11.
And that's probably my favourite.
You know the one.
It goes like that for the entire
time.
The
one you wrote, yeah, you
22.
It's really good.
Shane and Mark co-wrote 2 songs on the album, so they're my favourites.
What are they
Do you have to say that?
Take Me There.
Yeah,
and Love.
You were talking about Ed Sheeran being a fan of you. I actually became a fan of you in a really weird way. So one of my friends is a huge, super fan. And for Chris Kindle back in 2011, I got her the DVD of your live performance at Croke Park on your 10-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the opening song to that tour. Can you remember what it was? And has anybody ever said that this is their...
What year was it?
No,
That-
back in 2008.
2008, excuse me, 10 years of Westlife. It was Hit You With The Real Thing.
Yeah.
That is my favourite Westlife song of all time. And Keane, you're going mental backstage as it opens. Like, come on, boys! And that was it for me. Has anyone ever said that to you, Hit You With The Real Thing?
No, you were the first.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Do you know? But
The
like,
first favourite.
I think that was track 10 on that album, actually.
People have liked it, but that's definitely the favourite. We've never heard that before.
that song definitely has a, that's why we use it as an opening for a show, because it has that big live kind of like
Hit you,
vibe thing.
kind of.
Can you
With
bring
the
it
real thing.
back on your
I
tour?
don't think we will.
We'll do a special
Hello, my
one-off
love,
performance
might
just for
Moved
you.
on a little touch from that.
Maybe a bit better.
But guys, Graham is a massive fan. Like I think
Like, if it was look- if-
he's sweating
If it
right
was a hit, like,
now.
looking like
Well, I
that,
need to
He's
tell you,
been
I need
on
a
the
story.
toilet.
So, Mark, this involves you. Okay, this involves you. So, for your farewell tour, me and my friend Nicola, we queued outside UCD Ticketmaster to get the tickets because Ticketmaster online, you buy the tickets now, so it doesn't really matter. But back then, you had to queue. You go to UCD, it's a lot easier to get the tickets there. So we queued, we got the tickets, but both of us ended up going on a J1 to Vancouver and Chicago. However, recently, I think it was in Wagamama's, my friend came up to you, Mark, and she wants to tell me to apologise to you for apologising for not using the tickets and going to that gig. Can you remember
Oh,
a
how long
girl
ago this
coming
would
up to
have
you?
been?
In the last year?
I haven't been to Wagamama that much, so
It might have been Wagamama's, Crackbird, one of those kind of...
In Dublin, yeah?
Yeah, in Dublin.
I don't think he remembers it.
I hope it was Mark.
Of
It could have
course I
just been a
remember.
random
It was definitely
person.
you, Mark, but she said when she heard that I was interviewing you guys, she goes, please, will you apologise for Mark for me apologising to him
Did
and
she
maybe
give the
ruining
tickets
his
to
dinner?
somebody? Oh, no, she
you're going to have to
apologised
apologise for this apology.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I'll
anyways,
apologise for this
I
apology.
accept the apologies.
Look, guys, I want to apologise as well because Shane, look, there's a bit of chemistry between you and I. I think we can all admit this.
Actually, I think you
I've
two
felt
should
it
swap
since the
seats.
minute you walked into the room.
I know, but
thought-
a good few months ago, I was at a restaurant and you were there, Shane.
You just follow us to restaurants. What's the story?
What's going on here? Like?
Please. And you were there and you had a cap on and I think you were in...
Yeah,
We had his disguise on.
disguise. He had the glasses with the fake mustache. And he was indulging
that,
in a
doesn't he?
pizza and I just thought, I think I might go over there because my Instagram followers is very low at the moment.
should have.
And I need a bit of raw sex appeal. So I saw you there and I was going to approach you and then I thought, no, that could be weird. But then you went to the bathroom by yourself. So I was going to follow you with some handcuffs. But then I decided against that and I didn't. So just want to say that I watched you from afar, Shane.
Okay. I feel really comfortable now going into every restaurant.
During your time off, who had the most relaxing time? Who was able to switch off the most? Because you all went different directions.
Like I did.
We all did a little bit, I think. Yeah.
Directly
I switched
after
off
the band
completely.
finished, I massively switched off, but then I switched back on a
You
few years
switched off
later.
for a couple of years. You went travelling.
Yeah,
and stuff,
I mean, it's not that I wasn't doing anything, but I wasn't doing anything musically or publicly, but I was kind of starting to write songs
Buy
and
a
stuff like that.
crep van and go to festivals.
Well, no, I didn't buy a
see
crep
that.
van. I bought an old, rusty old,
He
like
just
1950s
ate a
van.
crap.
Oh, that was what
That was
that's all
it.
it was. Yeah, of course.
No, yeah, I didn't buy a crep van, but I
just
did. I
stored the van.
refurbished an old vintage kind of Citroen. It's called a Citroen H van.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And did you...
But everyone made it out like I was fucking making tea or something like
Well,
that.
it was in the paper that you were going on to festivals and selling crepes and tea.
No, well, I was also at festivals.
Yeah, where are
He
they
was
now?
at a festival.
And it said
partying.
Nicky on the
Oh,
radio.
the crep van at festival.
Yeah.
No, I was at the festival.
Coffee.
Yeah. I
Where
mean,
is the crep van now?
So
it's in Canary Wharf in London, I think. But that's where the last time I.
Oh, you sold
No, it's not nothing to do with me.
just park it up somewhere random one day and leave it there.
I just refurbished. Okay, I bought a van, refurbished it, and sold it for loads more money than I bought it for, and moved on. So can we all move on as well, please?
You weren't expected to talk about this van today.
That was
at
it.
all.
I don't
It
mind,
was a
I don't
vintage van, and he made a big.
It was
profit.
lovely.
It was great.
Did you guys watch Nicky when he was playing football for Soccer Aid?
No.
Did you?
Oh no, we did it.
No, we
No,
did.
because he saved. You saved. The
We watched it
penalty.
back.
I watched the one.
Oh
Where
yeah, I was the hero.
I watched the one that you
We were
missed,
at the
where you
Backstreet
missed the
Boys.
penalty, Nicky. Was
I didn't
there
go.
one where you missed the
I was at
penalty?
the Backstreet Boys that
Oh, were
night.
you?
I saw.
Who went to see the Backstreet's back, man? Me
I
and
saw the
Marco.
penalty shootout and I saw him save
Two.
two.
Who did you save?
I don't know.
You might as well
I think
say
it was-
Louis Figo or something.
I think it was Wayne Rooney and
Cristiano Ronaldo and
Michael Owen. I think. No, I was on
Messi?
Rest of the World. So
Okay.
against England.
Okay.
But yeah, but I'm planning again next year.
Oh, congrats.
Are you doing Dance with the Stars?
Yep, back in January.
Oh,
great
Nicky.
lineup.
Nicky, you got to help my boy Graham out here. Can you get him on the show? He was a big dancer back in the day.
I'm okay, Nicky.
Number 4 in Connacht.
No, I was.
No
Would you
way.
do it together?
I was number
like the two of you
18
on
in
it?
the world, actually.
As in dance.
As ballroom dancer.
No, Irish dancer.
Oh, Irish dancer.
Irish dancer.
Come
yeah.
on.
What?
Number 18 in the
Graham.
world. Irish
Yeah,
dancer.
wow.
So what part of Connacht are you from?
Mayo.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're in Mayo.
Do you know Lewisburg? Do you know Crow Patrick?
Yeah, I climbed it from
So,
a 40th.
Just like 10 minutes past there.
Lovely.
There's two lovely pubs right at the bottom of Crow Patrick.
Yes, Campbell's in the tavern. Yeah.
Is that, yeah, you get
No, I'm
drinking,
further
yeah.
out. My parents actually own a cottage, so if you ever want to stay down in Lewisburg, you're like, feel free to
Not
stay there.
creepy
Can
at
they
all.
rent
I'll
that
give it
out
to
to
you.
Americans who climb Crow
Yeah,
Patrick?
that's what we do.
Is that
Great.
the walking on cars cottage? No.
Sorry?
Is that the cottage?
What do you call it?
The walking on cars. You
No,
know,
because it's actually called Carr's Cottage. I was like,
Is it?
what?
I say if I did. I say if I did.
You've been there?
I say if I did indulge in the cottage, I'd say you would be there when I arrived.
Oh, I'd be there. Yes, I'd be
He'd be in the
the
closet.
bellboy.
at the table.
Hello, Shane.
Hello. Graham, can you maybe do an audition for Nicky? Just a bit of dancing.
We can do that.
Come on. Come on, Graham. Get up and do it. Here we go.
I think I will leave the dancing.
Oh,
I think
so
for now,
sorry.
because
Can I just say, though-
it's just the camera angles just won't be able to get it
But
all.
my
You know what I
kids
mean?
listen to you. I said it to you before we started.
Really?
Going to school in the mornings. My wife drives obviously the kids to school, and my daughter's an Irish dancer. She's only 6.
Okay.
She would love if you Irish danced.
Come on, Graham. Would you just do it?
can't let a
Come
6-year-old
on.
down.
There we go. Yeah. Go on. Hey, get your wallets out.
Hey!
Oh, I was starting to throw cards at him.
Okay,
Bank
guy,
cards.
it's
That
time
was
to play
kind
a
of like
game.
Irish dancing and The Greatest Showman mixed
We
together.
kind of need to move on from that. I haven't done that in
Yeah,
about
okay.
It was
14
really
years,
strange.
I think.
I was going to make it rain.
Yeah.
If you do need a back and dancer, though,
Not considered
never
going to
mind.
river dance or something.
I did, but my knees got to me, and mild arthritis in my knees, so I had to quit. It's a very
From the
harrowing
Irish
story.
dancing,
Yes,
you
all
had
the
Irish-
constant banging on the knees and all that kind of stuff.
Jesus.
We're going to play a game.
Yes, Callum.
I thought this was.
This
a
is
game,
our
no?
producer, Callum.
It's about to get a lot weirder.
Producer
whole thing
Callum,
is a
say
game.
hello
It's all
to
a
the
game.
We love
Westlife
your
family.
playlist.
So, guys, we do a game called Gotta Get It Wrong. It actually got nominated for an award at the Radio Awards.
But we didn't win it.
Came bronze.
Yeah, we didn't win.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
What bet it? Like what?
Don't
what the other
know.
Someone
So you
sending
got
someone
third,
to
like-
Canada in
Yeah.
Cork or something like that. I don't know. So whatever.
Guys, we've gotten some A-list celebrities in the day to play this game. The likes of Charlotte Crosby out of Geordie Shore.
Oh, yeah.
You were gonna say at least
Brilliant
Charlotte Churchill.
celebrity. We have a leaderboard. It's basically we're going to ask you as many questions as we can in 1 minute. Nathan's going to do that, and all you got to do is get the questions wrong.
So you got to give the wrong answer.
Wrong answer, but there is no repetition. Your answer must be in relation to the question, and you only got a couple of seconds to answer before we move on.
Okay.
Leaderboard as it stands. Dermot Kennedy on top with 17, Wild Youth on 15, and Picture This on 15, and then of course our big star Charlotte Crosby's on 14.
Right,
There
so
are
we
top.
just
So I
Answer
know
the question
Shane is
wrong,
looking a little bit, so I just want to give him an example of what you mean, just so we know.
yeah, so
Yes, I
if
guess.
you say what colour T-shirt am I wearing,
I
you
go
say
black.
Black. You don't say curtain.
Right. So you
And you
just,
have to be in
because curtain-
relation.
Why would you think it?
Because
Charlotte
curtain would equally
Crosby.
be the wrong answer, but not in
Has to be in
relation
relation.
to the
Is
question.
curtain a colour?
No, but that's you can't say curtain. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Is
was wondering where you
curtain a
went with
colour?
curtain there. I was like, what?
Well,
you
do
have to
wanna
give a
nominate
wrong
one?
answer
Do you see what
within
we have to put up with,
the
lads?
genre of what the question was.
What
Okay.
colour is the
Lads,
sky?
He gets it.
Guys,
Don't be making
please.
Shane
Green.
out to be a film.
Focus.
Not goat.
That's it. That's a not go.
Not goat.
Can I just say though that
This is crazy.
for
I
certain
can see why
people in the
everyone
band,
runs.
it won't be an issue to get the questions wrong.
Pardon, Mark?
Go on.
Callum, you keep
Okay.
score.
Okay, guys,
Oh, we gotta
concentrate. How are we going to do this? Because there's so many of you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So
All
which
right.
way are you going?
Start with me, go that way.
Right. And if somebody's bad at it, you're going to be just
Yes,
taken
fine.
out of the game.
And
okay?
guys, wait, just express yourself. Enjoy yourself. This is a lovely moment, what we're doing right
We've
now.
never used this before, so I don't know
How
if it
long do we
works. This is a minute. This will be our timer.
How many members are in Westlife?
7.
Sing a Westlife song.
Never forget where you're coming from.
Do your best Ryan Tuberty impression.
What's the crack?
Who is the lead singer of Nickelback?
Ronan Keaton.
What does a postman deliver?
Sweet.
What's the main ingredient in mushroom soup?
Carrots.
Name a Ryan Gosling film.
Greatest Showman.
What noise does a dung beetle make?
Wap wap.
Who is the manager of Liverpool?
Alex Ferguson.
What job did Mauricio Pochettino used to have?
He was a pottery maker.
How do you spell spanner?
G-R-A-M-Y.
What rhymes with cheese?
Curtain.
Who is the Taoiseach?
Bertie Ahern.
What street is the spire on?
Sesame Street.
Sing a One Direction song.
Flying without wings.
Name a member in One Direction.
Keen Egan.
Do your best Lionel Richie impression.
Fancy that.
Speak Spanish.
Salut, monsieur.
Speak French. Oh, guys, that was fantastic.
I think we won.
My last answer gets in there.
Okay, guys, I have to say, you came on this morning. You're gregarious.
We came on this morning.
What?
Jesus.
You're charismatic.
You need to go back into the restaurant.
Guys, please don't interrupt my flow.
This is a very important part of the game.
You're charismatic. You're warm. Physically strong. Mentally strong. Courageous. You reminded me of someone. Collectively, all four of you. You reminded me of a very, very young and relevant Hanson.
Oh!
Do you remember? That's a bop, 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 boom, bop, bop. This is you, Mark. This is you, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, 17 to beat. Dermot Kennedy is top of the leaderboard. What do they get?
You got 18! Everyone's a winner.
We love to win.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's a really good feeling. Like
It's a
winning.
nice.
Like,
I
think they should have got a gold medal.
Well, maybe next year we'll with you guys in it.
We're gonna.
Curtain.
Nick, Mark, Keane, Shane, thank you very much for joining us on
Thanks,
Fully
lads.
Charged.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See you at the next restaurant.
See you at the pizza place.
Thank you.
Behind the curtain.
I would like to welcome Fully Charged with Graham and Nathan.
Graham and Nathan.
7 a.m. This is.
And this is 103.